The amateur. Oh. Hi guys, I'm back from the Thunderbolts recording. God, that was a fumble recording. I really should hit that, but I don't have the time to edit. But seeing that I saw Thunderbolts, I saw the amateur. The amateur. As like last time to see him that the theater I normally go to, and I really didn't like this movie. I liked it. It was a little. What's the word I'm looking for? It felt. You can tell this was a movie based off a book because the movie was very long, but also felt like it should have been longer. Like you feel like there's some things cut out for the plot. But if you haven't seen the trailers or the film, the movie follows Rami Malek as his FBI, CIA. He is it's like the CIA analyzer. You know, he's the tech guy. He looks at the computer files. He brings things together to the agents who are actually going to go into the field and set up stuff like that. And his wife, she's going on a business trip to London. It's gonna be, it's just a normal day in life. It's a normal day thing for him. Until he is told by his boss that his wife was caught up in a terrorist attack, and she was one of the victims. Now, completely distraught with grief and rage, he doesn't want to go after the people who killed. He doesn't want the FBI, CIA to go after the people who killed his wife. He wants to do it. And after finding some good old blackmail on his bosses, he's forcing them to train him so he can go hunt the people down and get his revenge. Now, I kind of fumbled up that little premise talk, but I do like the premise of this. It is a very different revenge spy thriller that, no, not my favorite genre. It is a lot different than anyone I've seen in a good while. And of course we have Rami Malek, which I always love Rami Malek. I think the first time I ever saw him in a film was back in 2006, I want to say, but in 2006 when he was the Mummy in Night at the Museum. So that's I always loved watching him. And this was a very different role than I'm used to seeing him in. Because I don't think he's done a lot of action like roles. At least none that I can recall. And he's really good in this. He sells all the emotional moments. He sells that he is more of this meek personality. He's not really an action guy. He's not the big old. He's not Rocky. He's not what's the Rambo. He's not Rambo. He's not the Winter Soldier. He's not the kind of guy who goes out and just picks fights. So seeing him kind of train up, seeing him building up the courage and the grit to go after his wife's killers, it is a great little journey he goes on. And there's a lot of good little small acting moments from him where he is compelling his grief, because he's always holding back his pain. He's always holding back. He doesn't want to show people his emotions. At least that's how I interpret it, and I really liked it. Lawrence Fishburne, he is I'm about to say I about call him Queen. He's Rami Malek's handler, his trainer, and he's not in the movie a lot. At least not a lot of the trailers might think he's in, but he does have a good couple strong scenes together. And I feel like he could have been in the movie a little bit more. And we don't really have a lot of big names here. Pretty sure the two main FBI guys are big actors, but they didn't really stand out. Now, who does stand out in here is Jon Bernthal. The Punisher just pops in the movie, and it's weird. That's why I say you can tell this is based off a book, because when Jon Bernthal first comes out, him and Rami Malek, they're having this decent little chat where you can tell like they're kind of friends or more like acquaintances. He's asking Malek to come help him fix the computer during lunch. We don't see that scene. We don't see that scene. He doesn't pop up anywhere else throughout the whole movie. But then all of a sudden, before like the last 15 minutes, he shows up for like a 3-minute scene, and it's like what? I almost forgot he was supposed to be. He was in here, and they're having this conversation. You're thinking, was the scene cut out? Did I fall asleep for a minute in the theater? And I'm guessing there's probably another scene or two with him on the Blu-ray. If we get Blu-ray of this, probably gonna stop making Blu-rays soon because streaming. But but yeah, you can. There's probably wasn't a scene with him deleted, and it feels weird because you feel like they're supposed to have a bit of a friendship, but they just feel like strangers. The other characters in the movie, the killers, the terrorists, they don't really get a lot of personality to shine. I mean, the girlfriend of one of them, she gets a lot to shine. She gets a little bit of scenes with her. The other two, the main two killers, they have great, fantastic depths, but they don't really get much of a personality, don't get really much of a dialogue. And while that's not really needed, you don't really feel like that's what we're looking for. What's a good comparison to this? A Taken. Let's before that though. Like when we get to the last guy, him and Ryan Malek, they have this big conversation together. It's a very gripping, compelling scene. But you know, like in I'm about to compare this to Taken, but then again, now I'm trying to think of it now. Taken was kind of similar. All the bad guys just died very quickly, except the one. But I think like the more interesting part of this is not really the actual killing of most of these guys. It's watching Rami Malek set up his traps, him convincing himself, to hyping himself to be this killer personality, and his growth through the film from more of a meek regular dude to more confident to the more killer aspect of himself. I really liked the journey. The movie felt like it dragged on a little bit, just a little bit. And I normally don't say this because I like long movies, but the parts where it dragged, it felt like it could have been replaced with more character development. Like the wife. The wife, she really only has one scene in the movie. And we have this one basic scene. It's a nice scene because you can see their connection, you see a little bit of their chemistry. The girl playing the wife, she's playing Lois in the new Superman movie. And after she dies, we have these little moments where he kind of hallucinates her. Not like this big dream sequence, but just like, oh yeah, she's there. That's what she would have done if she was here with me in this situation. And there's these very sweet, tender moments. But I think we could use a little bit more of that. Like have a full-on flashback scene. Make the opening a little bit longer. We don't have a chance to connect with his wife. So when she does die, it's more like, oh, okay. And Rami Malek, he's selling his pain. He's selling the grief, but because we ourselves don't fully get to know her, it's not that strong of an impact. And that's really all I really see in the movie. Like I said, the villains, they need a little bit more to work on. They weren't really characters. They're more like enemies, obstacles for Rami Malek to destroy and take out. His personal growth was a big part of the film. We don't really get to connect to all the other characters. And for yeah, there's really not a lot to say. uh, this is somewhat similar to the Thunderpulse review. But yeah, the Amateur just came out almost a whole month ago at the time of recording. So I'm not sure if it'll still be in theaters, but if you can run out and check it out as a matinee, I say do it. If you only if you're a big fan of Rami Malek. If you're not a big fan of Rami Malek, you might not enjoy it as much because, or unless you just really enjoy spy thrillers, because he is his movie. He is the main character throughout. We barely break away to other characters. And if they do, they are just the faceless CIA a-holes with no personality. But yeah, The Amateur. Oh, it was a big surprise. Very fun. Well, not really fun. Very dramatic, more dramatic and cold and a little depressing. But yeah, I liked it though. I wouldn't mind watching again if I have the time. But that's it for the video. I gotta go. I have more work to do because I don't need to tell you why. I don't need to tell you anything. I don't need to do anything.